Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Get ready for Gnosis. Well, of course, this is what we call a large version of a SOMA puzzle, which came out in the late 60s, early 70s, which was basically a block cut into 7 different shapes. Those shapes then could be assembled into numerous, at least 50 different other shapes. So this is one of those things that takes a bit of concentration. And of course, what we're demonstrating here is shifting tools. Now, there's many different versions of this out there. The best one to get, which comes with cards and other things, is called Block by Block, which gives you puzzle solutions and, of course, 50 different solutions and 50 different ways of building it, or at least on one side of the card, it has the shape you want. The other side shows you how to make it. Now, so I used this as a child. It was one of my favorite, I don't know if a child back then, but one of my favorite. I just loved this puzzle and made every single shape that was in the booklet that came with it. This was made by Parker Brothers back then and in plastic. And you can even see the SOMAs out there. S-O-M as in Mary, A as in Albert. You can find these online, but why you'd want to get a original one at a high price or not. But you can find these as the 7-piece cube puzzle made by many, many people. And of course, you can find these on the usual places, Etsy, eBay, etc. And here's a big version of it. This is a very large one. As you can see, it's the size of almost a hand here. And I got this because I love this puzzle, but this is very crudely made that I got off the internet. Not something I really like, but it was kind of cool because it's big. I've never seen anything this big before. And it had a cover on it, everything else, which the wood itself dried out and broke and everything else. So it's a not a really good puzzle maker that you'll find on eBay that makes a lot of these things out of wood. They're very crudely made and made very quickly and simply. And you can see this isn't even stained. But it's fun because it's so big. You could even make something like this. But let's pour the pieces out here. So there's 7 pieces, and they're all made the same way here. And this was, I think, some Danish mathematician put this together. And what you have to do is assemble this. Now, the first thing you want to do is assemble this into a cube, etc. But now, as a shifting tool, you want to be able to concentrate on something at a very low level, but clearing concentration. Now, you can't go from normal everyday activities into a altered state of consciousness to do your tuning for radionics, concentration on any kind of rituals you're doing. No matter what you're trying to do, psychic reading, remote viewing, whatever those things are, you are not able to do that by just, I want to now do it. I'm afraid it usually doesn't work that way. So, what you've got to do is find something that's simple, yet takes a bit of concentration. And this is a prime example of something that's really simple. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have this, put this back as a cube. And I know how to do it, but it does take a little thinking. But by the time I'm finished with this, and it shouldn't be perplexing where you have to concentrate on it and figure it out and all that kind of stuff. You don't want that. You want something that just kind of shifts your attention but takes all of it so that you're then able to go from there into doing, it could be as simple as using a pendulum on your radionic machine. It could be just as simple as that if that's what you really want to do. So if you want to do some pendulum work, well, you just got off of your job, you just were doing something else or whatever it may be, well, your mind is kind of drifting into so many other things. So you want to focus the mind so you can then shift over into something that has value instead of worrying about what you saw on the latest TV, if you're hungry, whatever it is, all the stuff you want to try and avoid. So what you do with this, and I haven't done it for a while, what you want to do is rearrange these 7 pieces into a particular square. So generally you start like this. As I said, I'm wondering if I remember how to do this. You then put it like this. This goes, and again, you're not looking to stump yourself. So now we've got those two, this, and then you do this and this. So now I've been able to put that cube together. It's not about figuring anything out. And if it's something you don't know how to do or not sure about doing, that's fine as well. But don't tire your thinking out. Don't tire your third eye, your chakras are all being drained by doing this to a very small amount. But if you struggle with it, I'm not sure, well, what's going to happen is that you are going to drain yourself. That's not the point. Once you've focused away day-to-day life, day-to-day problems, you then are able to concentrate, or you've shifted your consciousness over to something else. And in a way, this is kind of a shifting yourself away from the common world into something that's a little more scientific or different or even metaphysical. You know, this is a puzzle, and puzzles are very, very good to clear your thinking, to shift with. So there's many, many puzzles you can get. There's all sorts of puzzles. I'm going to show you several different types. Find something that's fun and interesting to work with. And I will, as I said, be showing you other things that are used in a similar fashion here. So this is exciting. This is a big wooden one. You can find these smaller ones, which are probably easier to have around. But you can find smaller ones online that you can easily buy. I think they're around or even under $20, where you can get them made out of wood, plastic, etc. Many come from China. What you do want to look for is something that actually has the sheet of instructions that shows you the solutions and gives you, 20, 30, 50 different items to make. Because these are good in general if you want to clear your mind. And this also puzzles stimulate those areas of the actual physical brain that also control your higher level biofunctionings, oftentimes psychic, which is a terrible term, but the whole idea is the biofunctioning that you get into. These kind of puzzles work those areas of the brain and makes you think in a different reality instead of being caught up in the common nonsense, which is something you really want to avoid. So watch for the other ones. The core training is so important, so make sure you study the core training, know how to shift, know how to visualize, make sure you're centering yourself. That's all part of the process that really gives you those extreme abilities. You have to work with you, the bioentity, to make sure that you get everything correct and right, get you in the proper functioning, or you're never going to be able to do the other things. Hope you enjoyed. Watch for more coming.